Hello everybody, Redzone here, welcome back to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Dokkan right now at this very moment in time is not too active. There's not a lot of activity going on, so I kind of wanted to do a video just stating what are basically for me, the top 5 toughest fights in the game at the moment. Just to have a little bit of conversation between you guys and see what is a tough battle, or what in your conversation you would suggest that would be the toughest fights in the game at the moment in the game. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start. By the way, make sure to hit that like and subscribe to let me know. I mean, right now we're still on the grind, we're still going for 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new. So I was doing the Fusion Samasu mission on the 9th year anniversary. One of the 9th year anniversary missions that you have to basically fight Fusion Samasu with the Power Beyond Super Saiyan team. And some people have cleared it, some people, it seems kind of difficult about it. So yeah, it's kind of one of those fights, and it kind of got me inclined to make this little, I guess, quote unquote tier list and stuff like that. So anything like that. So I'm gonna start off with the one that I think it's number 5, which is this one. The Divine Wrath Immortal Will event, Fusion Samasu fight. There's nothing, too out of the ordinary. You can't seal, you can't stun, you can't lower attack and defense. So basically trying to survive the onslaught that is this guy just hitting you for a lot of damage. So yeah, 2.1 million damage is a super attack. He has 95 million HP, a lot of attack power on his normals, so it's something to be aware of, and a lot of damage reduction. So the meta at this rate in time is just starting to evolve to the point that units in the game need to tolerate damage slot 1 or from the first appearance, because after they super attack and everything like that, they tend to look pretty bad. So once we go into that position, we see units kind of struggling for a bit. Like if you guys saw my previous video when I took the int 3 of my Goku, just taking a few normals that were pretty damn hard on him to the point that we got killed, I was like we're seeing a difference in how they're providing us the units and everything like that, and then power creep. Like we're getting severely power crept by some of these units in the game. Like for example, you see this 3 of my Goku, he's not that great, but then you see units like this, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku that just came out on global, and he looks to be really good. So I don't know why the difference in power, So next, and now these tough bosses are starting to hit insanely hard. Like I remember when the Redzone came in, and it was just like a joke to a lot of people, because on JP, anniversary comes to their lineup first, and you will have the 8th, like let's say for example the 7th year anniversary LRs were in the game by the time, and they were fine. They were struggling to beat those events, but they get anniversary first, then they get Saiyan Day, then Golden Week, and they're starting to get tough units for them to be able to progress through the game. Meanwhile, us on global, we get Golden Week first, we get Saiyan Day first, we get a lot of those units first, and then July comes in with the anniversary, and we are like, is this all that it has, But when it's like same time celebrations, like the worldwide download celebration, where they provide us with like difficult content, then and only then we start to realize, oh, so this is power creep. So it's gonna be hilarious, because the 9th year anniversary units are gonna be like destroying the next few events. So yeah, I got Fusion Samasu at number 5 because of the damage that he's able to do. I remember me fighting this Fusion Samasu. It was not as annoying as, you know, Vegito. When I took on Vegito, the thing is with Vegito, you can lower his attack and everything like that, but you know, with this Samasu, you're not able to do that. And this is kind of like the closest that I can put in. I guess another honorable mention that I could possibly state here would be the Broly Redzone stage, just because of the fact that you can't dodge his attacks. But it seems as though a lot of people would just continuously misconstrue the fight, and they just keep on thinking, oh my god, you know, Broly's just so weak at the moment, he's just not that great. So yeah, it's like but you know, he can still put up, he can still do pretty decent damage. A lot of people get afraid because of the AoEs that he can do on the third phase and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel comfortable putting the Fusion Zamasu over here on the 5th spot over here, but you know, honorable mention to the Redzone Broly. Number 4 will be the Mortal Will. Of course, this is the final stage of the Divine Wrath Mortal Will event, just because of the sole fact that Trunks just does a megalodon tons of damage. Like, as you guys can see here, he's able to do 1.7 million on his super attack right here. And then of course, after he's able to obtain, you know, all the energy that he's able to obtain, he transforms into the physical one with the standby, and he's able to hit you for that much, 2.3 million damage. It's just like ridiculous. So I guess you know, when taking on this event, let me see what teams that I actually used to beat this event, because I remember taking on him and it was like kind of really tough to do it. But I think it was a mix of the Battle of Fate team. I actually used one of the new LRs here, which was the Trunks. But yeah, you know, starting off with this, like, units are getting a lot of damage reduction on their kids, on their fights, which is, you know, it's something tough to get through. But it's sort of like the new thing that units are going to start to get these days. You know, tough bosses like Samasu and stuff like that. You know, starting to get these damage reductions means that you're gonna start hitting your opponent really hard in order for you to penetrate this defense. But another thing is to survive super attack, because it's pretty dang damaging. Now we're starting to learn about, you know, the cooldown effects of the super attacks, you know, because we previously didn't have to shout to the Dokkan info site. Now we're starting to learn more about, okay, so we need to count the attacks that he's gonna do, and we get a little bit of extra knowledge as to when is he gonna super attack next, you know. But yeah, whenever we got to face this sort of Hope Trunks, he just does insane amount of damage. Like, it was ridiculous when a lot of people faced him. I feel like this is another good area where you can be able to showcase units. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to bring units to test out on this fight. It will be pretty interesting to see how well units here will go. Also, you can see the difference in like HP as well, like 95 million, 100 million HP. Is like, now these units are gonna start getting beefier in HP. Alright, next up, number 3 on my list of top fights are the Sin Shenron of the Birth of the Shadow Dragons event. Now, this isn't too much of a like difficult thing. It's just a matter of just like trying to see and trying to think how you can survive, because, you know, there have been in certain instances where these fights can get really cheeky because of this. Now the introduction of AoEs into the fight are starting to get a little bit more tougher to get around. Like, let's say for example you're trying to save a unit at the end of the rotation, and it's going to be difficult because of the fact that the unit can AoE. So it's like, oh my god, man, I don't know what to do. You have to sit down and properly think about the rotations that you're going to do. Because, you know, fighting Sin Shenron, while it is a very good area to showcase your units, the AoEs can do a lot of damage. So, something to be aware of. I know that Ningen is struggling a little bit because when this event released, he has been trying his best to beat it. no items with the heroes team, and you know, high praises to the guy. But it's just like, you know, a lot of trial and error for you to be able to try to conquer this fight. He has gotten so far to almost get this guy to down to 2 bars of HP, but it's, you know, it's very, very tough, very, very difficult. The AoEs do a lot of damage, and there are going to be certain instances where this guy's just going to attack a lot. As you can see right here, he can be able to attack 10 times per the turn, and one of those attacks is guaranteed to be a super attack. I haven't seen an instance where he can double super, but yeah, this is something really crucial to look out to. Especially, you know, the AoEs can do a lot of damage as well, so it's something, again, keeping an eye out for things because it can be pretty damaging. But not too severe. There's not a lot of struggle when it happens with all this unit, you know? It's just a matter of trying to get through the fight, try to bring as many stacking units as possible for you to be able to try to take down this fight. I don't see a lot of like ins and outs or a lot of difficulty between this, but yeah, a lot of thinking when it comes to this fight. Next up, number 2, and this is gonna be, you know, I mean, you guys saw kind of like the spoiler at the first, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start saying this. Number 2 is going to be the Fusion Samus fight, and then number 1 we're going to be talking about Omega, who is not on global yet. But let's go ahead and talk about Fusion Samus as to why this is possibly the second toughest fight for me in the game. I haven't fought Omega yet on JP. If I did, I think I haven't been able to properly showcase what he does. But Omega is a behemoth. So, but this is also another form of a behemoth here, because this guy, he AoEs on the first turn, and he really will not let you get settled in, you know, testing out the waters and everything like that, because he's just gonna immediately put pressure on you. He's gonna do a lot of damage on you, so it's gonna be crucial for you to be either thinking about, oh my god, do I dodge, or do I just take all the damage that I can take, or just, you know, see what can you be able to do, because again, it's gonna be very, very tough. We also got he's able to do a lot of damage on his super attack. He can lower attack as well, and he has no cooldown, which means that at any rate in time in the turn, he's able to possibly super attack you once, or maybe super attack you twice in the turn. I haven't seen that where he's able to double super on the turn, but it's very scary if he does that to you. So something to keep an eye out for that. Of course, like, you guys have seen many fights where I'm just like trying to skate by, and he's able to just like, oh, let me drop the bomb, super attack slot 1, and then do the AoE afterwards. That's instant death for me, because he just likes to do that all the time. So, but if you do make it through this unfair first fight, and then you go into the second phase, this is where things you think that things are gonna be more comfortable. It kind of does, because this gives you a little bit of a leeway in terms of super attacks. He can't super attack you once per turn, but he has a cooldown in which now you can think, okay, he might not super attack this turn, whereas this guy, he can super attack you whenever he wants. He doesn't have a cooldown. He can possibly double super, but I haven't seen that yet. And of course, enemies that do this, they're raising their attack for 1 turn, means that they do a lot more damage that they are able to consistently do without the raising an attack, you know? So it's something to be very, very aware of. If he supers you, like he drops the true test of a gun super attack, he can raise his attack power by 30% and continuously do more damage to you, wiggling down your HP basically. So I feel as though, yeah, like if you're way past the first phase here, like if you can get through this phase and go into the second one pretty well established, you're gonna be looking very pretty, it seems. It's just a matter of him just not dropping those attacks right at the beginning, because the more pressure he puts on you, the worse the fight is gonna go for you. So And coming in at number 1, I will say we haven't had this fight yet on global, but I've seen most of the stuff that goes on with this fight over on JP, and it's not pretty. Of course, you start off with this guy, the Tech Omega, and he started off as, you know, he started off as Tech, and you know, he's able to stun, he's able to seal, and he raises his defense on super attack. It's either one of the two. So he has two types of different super attacks, as you guys can see, where they do the same effect. They will do the same damage, but it will be different effects. Sorry. He will do either seal you or stun you, and that's one of the worst things that you can have, because if you go ahead and try to do this, he's just gonna neutralize whatever offense you will have at the beginning of things. So yeah, 100% chances of stunning and 100% chances of sealing. Plus, I think yeah, he's able to dodge all attacks, including super attacks. He has a 7% chance to do that. He disables dodges, so you're not able to dodge in the initial phase, but then afterwards you can be able to dodge. So if you do have dodge units, you might have to try to survive that tech phase, and and then see how you go from there. And then additionally to that, he reduces damage received from all typings except for the int type. So as you guys can see, this fight was designed with Super Saiyan 4 Goku in mind, meaning that, you know, int units can be able to provide a lot more damage in the initial phase than any other typing in the game. You know, it's sort of, it kind of makes you think as to how you will properly build your units. So yeah, something to look into that. And then, you know, we got the other phase, the SDR one, which SDR and int, as you guys can see, he's able to do AoEs. We come to an era where the AoEs are gonna be much more impactful and gonna be more strategic in order for you to think about what to do and how to arrange your units. And it's just, you know, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very, very tough for you. So once you go into the other phase, let's say you survive, you're not gonna get stunned, you're not gonna get sealed on this fight, but you do have to keep aware that if this guy super attacks you and then drops the AoE, that I feel is gonna be like a real amount of damage that he's able to put out, because again, 50% raise in attack, meaning that once he super attacks, this AoE damage will go up, and he's able to attack a lot per the turn. He has 2 AoEs per the turn too, which is something to think about. It's like, oh my god, I prefer taking the AoE and then super before him super attacking and then AoE, because again, this is a case of, if you take a lot of damage on your unit, on a specific unit, and you want to survive, you gotta make sure that he doesn't super attack. Either it's either that, or you're gonna take a load of damage because of that super attack. Because that, since he's raising his attack, that those attacks that's being spread out because of the AoE are gonna just penetrate every single other unit that you have in the rotation. So it's just pretty bad. So in addition to that, he's able to heal, but I don't know how often he's able to do this. I feel like a few times per the turn, per the fight, but not too often. So and then of course, once you finish up with this phase, you jump into the int phase, which again, you get another set of AoEs. This time it's gonna be 3 AoEs in there. He does so many attacks during this fight, so it's gonna be pretty careful. He doesn't raise his attack, so you can be safe, but he can lower your defense great. Well, not greatly, but he can lower your defense by 40%, which is still too much. So and he does a lot of damage on his super attack, so again, something to be careful and be aware of. AoEs are just like 500k, and his super attack combined with all the AoEs is just not gonna try to let you survive. So yeah, the AoEs is just what makes this a little bit uncomfortable. All these fights with AoEs are just very, very uncomfortable. So it's a matter of like try to live, try to survive, and try to take down the opponent. Again, if you're int, you're bringing like int units in here, you're gonna go forth and find yourself with int omega, which unfortunately is not gonna be the greatest pleasant thing ever, because again, type neutral damage is not gonna be too high with this int omega at the end there. And of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, there are instances that he doesn't get like attacks effective against all types and stuff like that. He's able to do crits once you go into his Super Saiyan 4 phase, the full power version. So that again is gonna be pretty helpful for this. So yeah, that's gonna be my 5 fights, rank 5, you know, my what I believe is the toughest fights in the game at the moment. And you know, let me know what you guys think. If this is something that you guys would like to see more often, if you guys are prepared or getting ready for this fight to come down to global, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this fight I don't think is gonna come down yet to us. It all depends on the arrival of the actual LR Carnival Omega Shenron, which a lot of people are speculating that he might come down to us in the next few days, but I don't think so. Although the sales are going to reset prior to, you know, before we get to the month before we get to the sales for heroes and stuff like that, which are in 9 days. So you know, it's something to look out to. But yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by watching this video. If you guys like it and enjoy, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know down below, what are your 5 toughest fights in the game? What do you believe are the toughest fights in the game? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I almost said 700. We already are at 700 subscribers, but we are now on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all hopefully in the next video. Stay hydrated, and make sure you tell somebody else you love them. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.